In 2018, London police raided a 6-bedroom house. Inside a safety deposit box were crypto wallets holding 61,000 Bitcoin worth billions. The woman who owned them had already vanished. Her name was Zhimin Qian. In China, nobody knew her real face. Between 2014 and 2017, she ran a crypto investment scheme called Blue Sky out of Tianjin. She promised massive returns and lured victims with glossy videos showing sweeping shots of London. Over 128,000 people handed over their money. Families pooled their life savings. The total damage reached 40 billion yuan, roughly 4.3 billion pounds. What made her scheme work was timing. This was the early days of crypto, when scams and real fortunes were everywhere. Her staff never met her in person. They knew her only as Sister Hua. Hold on. 128,000 victims. That is not a small group of naive investors. That is the population of a small city, all convinced by one woman they never met. By 2017, Chinese authorities were closing in. Qian converted most of the stolen funds into Bitcoin and fled the country on a moped. Not a private jet, a moped. She rode overland from China to Myanmar, then on to Malaysia. There she got a passport from St. Kitts and Nevis under a fake name, Yadi Zhang, and entered the UK. Once in London, Qian did not lay low. She rented a 6-bedroom house, dropped 92,000 pounds at Harrods, and stayed at the Ritz-Carlton in Berlin. In her personal diaries, she fantasized about meeting a European duke. She even wrote about using her stolen fortune to become the ruler of Liberland, a microstate on a disputed floodplain between Croatia and Serbia. She wanted to be the queen of a made-up country with stolen money. You genuinely cannot write a script more absurd than this. She recruited 2 accomplices, a former takeaway worker named Jian Wen and a Malaysian national named Seng Hock Ling. Together, they tried to buy properties in the UK and Italy. That is what tripped the alarm. In 2018, Wen attempted to buy a £24 million property in London. The transaction triggered a suspicious activity report. British police started looking. Police raided the house and the safety deposit box. They found crypto wallets containing over 61,000 Bitcoin, worth billions. The largest cryptocurrency seizure in UK history. But Qian was not there. Days before the raid, she had disappeared. For 5 years, the trail went cold. Qian moved constantly. She forced her domestic staff to sign contracts with fines up to £10,000 for revealing anything about her. She banned them from using phones made by Huawei or Xiaomi, fearing Chinese surveillance. She avoided any country with an extradition treaty with China. Then, in early 2024, investigators noticed something. A long, dormant Bitcoin wallet linked to Qian flickered to life. Somebody had moved funds. That single transaction reignited the investigation. Police traced her from a lonely bungalow on the shores of Loch Tay in Scotland to a house outside Glasgow and finally to a quiet Airbnb in York. In late April 2024, officers arrested Qian at the Airbnb. On her person, she was carrying 60 million pounds in crypto across 4 more wallets, plus false passports and cash. Her accomplice, Ling, was arrested separately. Investigators discovered he had been Googling how much is considered money laundering in Malaysia and what are the sentences for money laundering in the UK. He was literally Googling the sentence for his own crime while actively committing it. That is a special kind of panic. Qian pleaded guilty on the first day of her trial in September 2025. She was sentenced to 11 years and 8 months. Ling got 4 years and 11 months. Wen got 6 years and 8 months. The judge told Qian the scale of her money laundering was unprecedented and her motive was pure greed. The seized Bitcoin is now reportedly valued at around 5 billion pounds. Civil proceedings are underway to determine how much gets returned to victims in China. Some victims wrote letters to the Metropolitan Police. One said they were forced to sell their house and now had no fixed home. Another said their wife divorced them. They were mentally broken. Zhimin Qian scammed a hundredwal sundro brar doser and 28,000 people, fled a country on a moped, hid billions in Bitcoin in London, and dreamed of ruling a fake country. She only got caught because one wallet woke up after 5 years of silence. Every crypto transaction reportedly leaves a trace. Eventually, someone notices. What was the first red flag for you? Drop it in the comments.